A hat. Charlie's got a hat and I've got a hat. That's too late now. Gives me a chance to show up here. Good evening, everybody, and thanks for coming in. What are you laughing at? Did you say good evening? 10 seconds in, you're starting to carry on already. I've already warned you. I mean, good evening, folks, and welcome to our Ivy House review. We're just going to be going over what happened last Friday when we went to the Ivy House, the Team House, the Axe House, several names. It was our first time investigating there and our first time investigating in England. And we got to meet these three lovely people, Rox, Roisin, and Charlie. They're our guests tonight. They're not really guests anymore, are they? They're more like friends. I mean, or what is it usually?
You stuck with me now.
I know
part of the furniture.
Like my brother from another mother and my sisters from another mister, that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Sarah's here, and in the darkness is Gail. Gail is here, although you can't really see her. And in the chat is Laura's good hubby, Craig. He was also there. So, we ended up going down to the Ivy House, which is just outside Warrington, last Friday. And we were all excited about it because it's the first time we'd been there. We'd watched it on the Haunted Hunts and Roisin's videos as well. And we were quite impressed with me.
Very impressed, yep.
That's all you're going to say is very
That's
impressed.
all I'm going to say.
So we're just going to go around tonight and get everybody's impressions of, you know, what happened, what they felt, what they thought. And we've got a wee clip to play as well, which we find is rather interesting. I would like you to see it. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first. For me, I think Roxanne will agree with me. It was quite quiet, considering how it normally can be. From the couple of times that we've been there before, it seemed quite quiet, but it also didn't help with, obviously, you know, how the building, the construction is at the moment. It's, you know, it's in dire need of repair. With the rain and that as well, it was quite hard sometimes when it was raining to decipher whether that was footsteps or not. There was a few interesting moments. It was quite, you know, questionable, especially when, like, I'm not a big fan of necrophonic apps or anything like that. But there was one part, and I deleted the clip for some reason. Idiots. There was one part, I think we had like a child's voice come through, say play, and the ball went off exactly the same time. And that was really interesting to me. Like for apps, you know, I'd never say to anybody not use them. You have your own preference and what have you. It's just it's something that's like a word generator. Some people can really pick up words that might not necessarily be coming through. But that was really interesting to me because we did hear the child's voice say play and the ball went off exactly the same time. And that was kind of two parts of evidence going together. So that was really interesting in that. But overall, I think the house was quieter than what it can be.
Just an off night, but a child seems to be quite prominent. I mean, I've watched quite a few investigations, you know, by yourselves, by Roisin, by another team, Haunted Hunters HQ. I got that right, Roisin.
Yeah.
And a child always seems to pop up somewhere, if you know what I mean. And it seems to be a little girl. But that's
in Ivy House, there's a boy called Reggie, and there's a little girl. I don't know the name of the little girl though.
What did you make it, Rox?
I just thought, like you said, because of the state of the building, the whole atmosphere's changed there. Because obviously there's rain. It's just not the same as it was last time, but it's hit and miss, isn't it? You can't predict what's going to happen anyway. So
I think, you know, from when we went, the last time we went, it was almost like a completely different house. Do you know what I mean? Even look-wise. And it just seemed to have kicked off footsteps. You could hear dragging noises. You know, we heard disembodied voices and stuff like that. But saying that, off camera at the beginning, I think it was just when Roisin came in, we heard like, like footsteps, and we heard almost like a man's voice. But I did hear, like I said, didn't I? I heard somebody say like a disembodied, like a hello type of word. That was quite interesting because it was off camera, and I think Hannah as well, and maybe Laura. I think it was. We heard like a zip, almost like as if somebody had zipped their coat up in the hallway, and there was nobody else in the house. So that was quite weird.
It's all the wee bits and pieces. It's also it's the first time we'd been there, but when you walk in, you do get that kind of atmosphere. Now, I don't know whether it's because I'd already watched quite a few investigations, so your expectations are already there when you're walking into the property. You think, oh, this is going to be great, and you're listening for the dragging sounds. You're listening for the footsteps and what have you. I felt the atmosphere on the second floor is a lot different than it is on the bottom floor. The second floor seemed more claustrophobic. I know the second floor is kind of more enclosed in, but just the general atmosphere. When I went up the stairs, that's the kind of feeling I got. It was more kind of claustrophobic. It was more busy, spirit-wise, but they just weren't talking. That's the best way I can describe it.
That house has so much potential. That when that house gets going, it can be a great location. But like you say, you can never predict the paranormal. It either happens or it doesn't.
What about you, Gail, sitting in the darkness?
Maybe they didn't like us Scots.
Well, maybe there was too many. Maybe we scared them away.
Maybe.
I do think there was a lot of us. I've never been in that house with so many people, and I do think that will have made a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that house targets more smaller groups. It's the same, though, as a location like Mill Street Barracks is the same. In the cellar down there, if you've got a load group of people, it's quite inactive. You don't get much. When you drop it to about 2 or 3 of you, it's like something's trying to target you.
Do you think maybe the spirits feel overwhelmed if there's too many there?
Yeah. A lot of them, this is the thing, they were still people. They'll still fear us. They won't they also feed off our fear. And if there's a big group of us that aren't scared, then there's not feeding off that, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gail, what did you're going to speak for the rest of your party that was there? David and Tasha and Reese. What did they think about it?
They just said it was quite quiet. They were obviously a wee bit disappointed at how quiet it was. But David was amazed with the house. All he kept saying was a wee bit of paper up there, a wee lick of paint, and make it look brand new again. Coming from a painter and decorator, of course. But he said that would have been an absolute stunning house back in the day.
I think it would take me another lick of paint, but to kind of fix that place up.
I know that, but David and Tasha were technically only there to help me with the driving because I don't like driving long distance.
You made it Southway and that was it? You gave up?
Aye, I drove to Southway and gave up.
That was enough. Southway, right, I'm done. You know what I mean? There you go. There's the keys, David. You're doing the rest of it.
And then he drove back home and I slept.
The journey. Sarah is there, I think.
Yes, I'm here.
What did you make it be?
Considering I was so almost scared to go, it was really relaxed and calm, and it was good. I enjoyed it.
Did you get the feeling that we were doing our thing and the spirits were doing their thing?
Yeah, I think
ignoring us.
Some people have this theory. You look at spirits as, to them, in some cases they're still living. To them, some of them don't know their past, and if you think about it, if somebody walked into our home unannounced, you wouldn't be happy. I know I certainly wouldn't. If I was sitting in here and some chap tried to walk in my house, it'd be a different story. Do you know what I mean? So I think that sometimes can play on it, and intimidate spirits, or spirits can react to that. And I think, when you've got some places that do have the badder side of energy and negativity to them, they will challenge you for being in their space. But then I think some that may be laid back, like, they're quite intimidated by a big group of people in a house, they hold back and tend to observe. And I think that's what you find. But we had loads of K2 responses. It just wasn't getting any of the voices, any of the full solid bangs audio-wise. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't clear enough. But yeah, there was a sense that there was something there and it was with us. But it's just like they were holding back.
Yeah, when there was only a few of us, we heard quite a lot.
Yeah.
So, and I think it was just the fact that there were so many people there. That's why they went quiet. Yeah. But I do think if I go back and review my footage, which I've not had time to yet, but I'm expecting to find things. I am, because I know what that house is like.
Well, that's it. Like I said, the time we went before, we left an EVP running. We thought it was quiet, and we had a female voice come through saying, "Help us." So it is places that you look that you don't think you've captured stuff. But you'll look back at certain audio or certain parts of footage that you haven't really paid attention to while you're there, and you will find them responses.
That seems to happen quite a bit with footage that we have with. Anytime we've done Edinburgh, anywhere like that, especially with it happens a lot with us with photographs. For some reason, you get a lot of photographs, and it's later on we'll be looking at them, and you can see images or faces, and you get other people. Also, you get other people that look at them in case it's just your own eyes that are, seeing it. And you
Go away.
Can I say hi to Lan?
Hi, Liv. I'm her favourite daughter. She loves me the most.
Go away.
I'm also her sexiest daughter.
Go away.
Follow me on Instagram, MegTaylor_X778.
Go away.
Leave it advertising there, wouldn't it? She's put more up with it. Craig saying, to me, the bedroom had a darker energy than even the attic felt comforting, almost the bedroom felt cold when we weren't watching. Craig was up in the attic, and I found that strange when we asked if they wanted me to go up in the attic, and the K2 went off, and then we asked again.
Go away. I'm sorry.
I find it funny.
No. Bye.
No boring. Tell your mates the boring.
Go away. Sorry.
What was that saying there?
The difference between being up in the attic.
I felt the attic quite confident. I felt it quite relaxed. But when we go to the K2 responses twice about me going up in the attic, I did expect something to happen. Not to be murdered or anything, but I was expecting some kind of response, and I never got anything. Which was kind of, it was not disappointing. None of the night was disappointing, even though we didn't get much voice-wise, etc. It was I still loved the experience. And Sarah's going to play. There's the attic there. It's some size of attic in the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's your daughter in. Hey, Mel. She's come in.
I've got lots of pictures, Scott.
You want to stick some up?
Yeah, I'll go back to the start of them.
As long as there's no about 30 or 40.
There you go. So that was a door.
What? It's going to sound weird, but see when I seen that bed frame I kind of stood and stared at it because I've seen it on all the footage, your investigations, Rosine's investigations. I've seen that bed frame. And when I walked into the room and it was lying there, I was like, oh, there's that bed frame sitting there. The famous bed frame, you know what I mean? I know that sounds nuts, but you get the idea, don't you? Get the kind of...
So you can see on that picture just how bad
That-
it's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that cupboard, Sarah, you heard that noise in.
Yeah, that one.
What was it you heard?
Yeah, a bang.
Is there, see that I think it's some kind of pantry, which is away by it now. Has anything ever been heard in there, do you know?
I think when it's quieter, you hear noises all around the house.
Yeah.
So it's one of those. It's quite hard to tell where it's coming from. If you're upstairs, it's downstairs. If you're downstairs, it's vice versa. Do you know what I mean? So it could be coming from anywhere in that house.
Sarah says she heard a distinct bang coming through that pantry. I think it was some kind of pantry or
Where's the famous bathtub?
I take it that's the famous bathtub that the story comes from.
Yeah, I found no proof of the story. It's just one of those local legend sort of things.
Yeah.
A torture free. What kind of mind has your husband got?
Are you okay, Craig?
I apologise for him.
Like a torture. Where have you got in your house?
In my house.
I know. Have you got a secret? Have you got a green room or something in your house? A green room or a red room? That pervy film you all watch.
The red room.
The red room. All right, green room.
Is Laura picking a nose there?
Probably.
Looks like it, doesn't it?
No, I've been twirling my nose ring.
And that's the
Following your-
end of the game.
All right. One of the highlights of the night for me was the caterpillar cake.
Yeah,
That was
that was good. That.
Nice little sugar boost at the end of the night. Yeah.
it was, and then Sarah tell me to cut it into 13 pieces. I've never had to mutilate a caterpillar cake before. And it just seems so wrong. Because the caterpillar looks innocent. I know it's a cake, but and you might take a knife to this thing. And Sarah's like, cut it into 13 pieces. It had to be 13, didn't it? It was the 12, but it was the number 13 pieces cut it in. But it was really nice, so thank you again. Charlie and Rocks and my wee cat.
No worries. The cake was scary.
You really need to have a word with your husband. You got that road.
Oh, sorry.
Well, like, torture frames and a scary cake. But the worrying part is he's part of your team.
Yeah. He's a quiet one.
And we think he's quiet if he thinks that's a torture frame. I'll not be standing in front of him for the foreseeable future anyway, I'll tell you that. But we've got a clip to show you folks. Now, we've had a look at this clip and we can't explain it. So we're going to play the clip and then we'll get everybody's opinion on the panel, but their thoughts on it, if Sarah's still there, because she's very, really quiet again.
Yes, I'm still here.
This is from a locked off camera. There was down in one of the rooms downstairs, and everybody else was up the stairs, and Craig was in the attic at the time, so there was nobody down the stairs where this camera was. We will play the clip for you tonight, don't worry. Did they like it? No. See that clip?
Really like one.
That's,
Yeah, that
is
worked.
the clip that they like, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. That. But I'll tell you my thoughts on that clip. I might be totally way out, but the footsteps sound like, you know, the the old fashioned school shoes that
Clogs.
kids used to get with the wooden heels on them,
Yeah, the old clogs.
clog type shoes. To me, that sounds like a child who's come into that room and saw the camera and went, and then decided to turn the light off. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You can hear footsteps, and it is almost like a small child's voice, if you get what I mean, like humming. You do hear that. Could it be us echoing from upstairs, the footsteps, because there's a hollow house? Possibly. But you do hear like that child humming, like the hum, and then like something else after it. The light going out
Could be someone's torch.
could be that the batteries died or whatever. Just speaking on a skeptical term, we have to be rational about everything, and you got to try and look at everything different angles. It could have been a car passing. That's why you got the reflection of the car going across the light going across the room, or it could be like you said, the child has seen the camera and decided to play with it and turned the light off.
What were you, Roisin?
You definitely heard the kid go, like home. The light, I don't know, everything got drained that night. I went through loads of batteries. I left with everything dead. And you had cameras drain as well. So it could be that the light drained. But no, hang on, didn't you put it back on after?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, that's a bit unexplainable, the light going off, because I know you had the light on top of the camera. So yeah, and the footsteps do sound very loud in that room.
The other thing I was thinking is that particular light, I've got it here actually, it's that's the light that's the top of the camera, so it screws on the top of the camera, obviously.
Yeah.
To turn that light on and off, I don't know if you can see that, it's
You have to turn it,
you need to turn it. So to me, if it had been, we all know we were up the stairs, but just for talk, for skeptics' sake, if somebody came down the stairs and turned that light off, the camera would have moved even just a fraction.
Yeah, you would also hear the clicking noise, because them lights that you turn, you hear the switch as it turns on and off. So you would hear.
I don't know if you can hear the click.
Yeah, you heard it then.
Yeah. Well, I had a camera set up as well, so I'm pretty sure my other camera was in that room at that point. So we'll see what I captured as well. That'll be interesting.
That's why it'd be good to review both angles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then definitely, if you like you say, Roisin, if your camera's on that camera, or we'll see more of that area where that camera is, you'll be able to see if it has drained or something's tampered with it.
Craig says it sounds like hobnail boots. That's because I was trying to remember whether it was weird. This will sound really weird, right? It might be weird. What people were wearing, like rubber soles or whatever.
Yeah.
And different soles make different noises.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I try to look at every single kind of angle.
It's good, though, mate. It's good that you look at different angles. We wouldn't be investigators if we didn't. Not everything's paranormal, so you have to take that approach.
That's true. We do have footage of us walking about, and the footsteps are a kind of thudding sound compared to that. To me, that's wood on wood. That's just the way I hear it.
They do sound different, and they do sound like they're in the room.
And it's right next to the.
It's definitely like a clog sound.
Well, this is it without the video, and this is with the audio being enhanced a wee bit.
Definitely hear like a child,
Voice, yeah.
like a girl humming, and it's like a young girl as well. Definitely hear that. Like I said, the footsteps do sound like clogging. Is it coming from the room? We can't 100% say, because there is a load of floorboards upstairs. So if the mic's really good and picks it up, it could sound louder than what it is, if you get what I mean. But you definitely hear that child, the voice, because you hear the hum.
You definitely hear the child.
Yeah, you hear the hum, and then you hear slightly after as if she's trying to say something else. You do hear that. If you listen back to it carefully, you hear and then it's like so
it sounds like a kid having a mad. Do you know what I mean?
Having one of those little tantrums. Yeah.
Having a what?
A what?
Having a mad.
Mad?
What's that?
Yeah.
What's a
Have you never been called a mad ass?
Mad ass.
Yeah, mad ass. Somebody who's having a tantrum, getting their own way.
Yeah.
Must be a south of the border thing. I've been called a lard ass. You know, quite a few things. But I've never been called a mad ass. That's I'm going to use. I'm stealing that one. I'm going. Oh God, mad. M-A-R-D.
M-A-R-D. Yeah.
Reese has no heard it. I was just asking him.
Reese is for Birmingham.
I think it's a bit more of a northern thing. I mean, Arctic Monkeys have a song called Mardy Bum as well.
Never heard that either.
I can't answer that because I'm lost. So you know, whoosh, that's gone. I mean, what did you think of the footage?
It's difficult. It's difficult to explain. I mean, we know we were in the same route. We know what we're wearing. So, I don't know. It definitely sounds loud. Definitely can hear what seems to be a wee girl's voice. So, aye, it's definitely an interesting capture.
It's just the fact that it's a wee girl, and the wee girl always seems to be pop up in all different investigations. You know, it's just not just a one-off. It's just a wee girl. Where were you, Gail?
Me? It is a wee bit interesting for the wee child's voice, like the wee girl's voice, especially when Charlie said when also we were all in, I don't know if it was like the living room bit, but where we had the cat party, when we were having the K2 and all that, the Metrophonics, when you heard the child's voice saying play. So is that a combination with that, where the child wanted to play, or maybe she wasn't able to play more than what she wanted to? Maybe she didn't feel strong enough, I don't know.
Or she's waited for us to go upstairs.
Yeah.
Or, like you said, Mardy ass, she's seen her ass because we've gone upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they were in here playing with me. We had balls, K2, stuff for her to interact. A lot of people, you know, if she's lonely there, do you know what I mean? And she's seen a lot of people interacting, you know, that could have been a nice thing for her. We've all gone upstairs and left her.
Yeah.
So we got a heavy furniture being moved. The furniture, but I suppose it sounds like it, but also there's no furniture in the place.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely it was the wooden heel shoes. That's just my opinion. What would you be?
I don't know. It's a weird one. I really don't know.
It's one of the. She's a lady of very few words, isn't she? It's one of the strange ones. Taking away the footsteps, right? David debunked the footsteps, maybe debunked the shadow is maybe a passing car, maybe the light going off in the girl's voice. I find that hard to debunk.
I'm not taking out your rubbish for you.
These
My mum's a fat shit who ate my cookies.
what did she say there? Did she say what I think she said?
She did say what you think she said. I ate her cookies.
Oh, can you buy some more?
Yeah, just go away.
It's only blissfuls.
I don't like you. Go away.
Only blissfuls.
Go what?
Blissfuls.
No, go away.
Can you get some? Sequence bar.
I think she's driving her nuts.
Just a little.
The other weird thing that happened to us,
What, those kinds of shits on your face?
we took 8 batteries, and every one of them was fully charged, and every one of them drained. But the strangest thing, I've spoke to GSI about this and on, he can't explain it. I would do the stairs and change the battery in one of the cameras, and we were back down the stairs within 10 minutes, and the battery was dead. It was gone. The light as well. And a couple of minutes later, that camera came back on with a full battery. The light as well. And then a few minutes later, it died again. Now, I know folk might find that hard to believe, but that's what actually happened. And we can't explain that. How it can
Madness, isn't it?
be, fooled and dead and fooled and dead. So I'm open to suggestions.
It doesn't make sense that that's something you can't explain.
All right, fair enough. If it turned off and stayed off,
Like,
you
can
could say,
explain that,
yeah, all right, maybe a malfunction in the camera or battery, what have you. But if it to go off, then come back on, go off and come back on again, then it's like something is actually
Turn
switching it on and off, on and off, on and off.
Because it was literally 10 minutes and we were back down the stairs, and so that camera's that shouldn't be dead. I just changed that a few minutes before, and then it just burst into life again. And then, as I say, I've spoken to GSI, and they said, no, I can't explain that. No idea. That's never happened to us before. But I think the other thing, because we didn't get a lot of activity, was good for one angle that it shows people, everybody's going to watch the footage. It shows people, it is the Ivy House. It has got a reputation of being super active, but it shows people that you don't always get activity.
No.
Was Craig asking? Was next to you when it happened, Scott? Craig was there as well. But it shows that a genuine investigation that you go and you can get very little. Instead of these teams that might go in and say, right, people are expecting stuff here, so let's make stuff up, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It shows that there are times that house will be flat, basically. And I think it also seals the proof that, as we've said in quite a lot of lives, is we can investigate as much as we want, but it's really down to the spirits at the end of the day.
Mate, spirits don't do party tricks.
No.
It's it's when and I do believe, in a big trust as well. I believe the more you go back to the place and they get familiar with you going back there, I think that opens up a lot more doors to spirits actually coming forward and communicating with you more strongly, because they recognize you, they recognize the voice. It's one of those, I think, that if you can find a location that you can go back to on a number of occasions and build on that there, and I think it does really work for you.
Well, did you not find that with Tatton?
Yeah,
quite a lot.
With Tatton and the same as Penelan, we done it all the time. And when we went back to Tatton after the lockdown, second lockdown, the doll actually turned around and said, "Back again." So she knew we were back again, and we had a full, clear voice. Do you know what I mean? Come through. In Penalan, you've got the intelligent spirit, Eleanor.
You build on that every time. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, that place.
She does the dining room, and she's absolutely phenomenal. She actually told us in the house, and it might sound stupid to some people that don't believe in the paranormal, but she actually told us stuff that was actually going on in the house today. She's seen things over the years that have changed in that house, and she communicates with us. She is really, really clever and intelligent spirit, but also she shuts down when you ask her the same questions. She doesn't like the same questions all the time, because there's a big secret about the house. So she hates it when you ask her the same questions, and she shuts off and she will not speak to you. And she will not speak to a man. Will not speak to a man at all.
Maybe in her physical life, she maybe some kind of bad experience or something.
Possibly. The story goes, whether it's true or not, is that she had stepchildren, and the lord, if you like, of the house, she was kind of his mistress, was it?
Yeah, rather than
and she, like, his kids were naughty with her, and she didn't like them and stuff like that. So that was kind of, she doesn't like kids playing. And there's 2 kids in that house that we've actually heard knock on the door, clear as day, and then capture on the spirit box laughing as if they're playing knock knock run on her door on the dining room, and it was incredible evidence. But again, we had to build on that, and that was over a space of 6 years.
Go there now, and
5, 6 years, and some days we go, now it's quiet. But now there is the cellar is starting to open up now. You're starting to get a lot of responses from the basement cellar from a male figure, and that's starting to open up a lot more to people going there now.
So I mean, we had that last year at a location we done. We the more, and I think you said it. You said on that video clip you sent me, Charlie, that the more and more we went back, the more and more we got, and it seemed to be the same spirits.
Yeah.
That, kept coming back. Just what you said, oh, you're back again. I'll tell you another wee bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it is all about building trust. Everywhere we go, you'll either get it or you don't. But I think the more you go to places, the more trust you build, and it's just like when you meet people, I suppose.
Yeah.
And the more and more you see people, it's like when we even though we knew you guys for over a couple of years now, when we met you, that was still the first time meeting. It was still like, it's quite, oh, right, we're meeting for the first time. Same as Roisin. We'd never met Roisin before, and it's first time meeting. So for us meeting each other, it was a bit like, all right, well, I don't know them. I don't know how they work. I don't know. But I suppose over time, when you work together, you get to learn how people work. And it's good to learn from different people and different ways of how they get activity and not. There could be one place we could come up to Scotland. You could know Scott and you know how to trigger that. Me and Roxanne go there and get nothing. Same as Roisin. She goes to a place where she goes, we go with her, we don't get nothing. She gets it all because she works there on a regular basis and goes back to it regularly and builds trust.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we had that experience with another team. We took another team location, and we kept getting plenty of evidence. And we said what we did with them. We took them in. We said, right, we'll go down to the basement for an hour and use the stairwell. Seemed to be the most active point in the whole place. We says, you go to the stairwell, we'll go to the basement for an hour, then we'll swap round. So we did that, and after an hour, I went up the stairs and got them. I says, right, they says, we'll get nothing, absolutely nothing. I said, well, that's weird. So they went down the stairs and we came up the stairs, and more than straight away, we started to get, voices, words, the K2, almost immediately. So that I totally get that spirits can recognise you and say, well, I've talked to him and her, I'm not talking to them.
Yeah.
I won't know them. But, I might talk to them in the future. I'll see how I feel. What about you, Roisin? Do you have a location where you feel you've built up a trust with spirits?
Yeah. The video I put up on Monday, I think I remember telling you that it's my best video yet. The most activity I've got. I've been to that house loads of times. I'm sure they recognise me now. The same male spirit has called me the same very rude word a year apart, and I actually got the clip from my video I did a year ago and put that in my video from when I was there recently. And it just seems every time I go, it gets more active, and even down to smelling the woman's perfume last time I was there.
I watched that and it was kind of rose smelling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Gail still there? I just was a black screen.
I'm still here, hiding away.
Well, what do you think, Gail, about the more spirit gets used to you, the more got.
Well, especially after the location that we went time after time. Don't get me wrong, sometimes we went, it was very quiet. But some of the responses that we got, especially after obviously like from my mum, when we took my mum and dad, and obviously my mum was having like daydreams and as if like she was getting information from that location and she knew nothing about that location.
That was weird. That.
And some of the names that she came up with, and then obviously that's when we got the validation with the K2 moving from the same name that my mum gave us, because we never knew that name.
That was. I'm not going to get any data because also it's Gail's mum. But just some of the stuff she came out with. She'd only been there once with us, and some of the stuff she came out with after it was totally spot on, and it's stuff that she couldn't have known. Because she knew nothing.
And she's useless on the phone, so she can't Google it.
Aye, she likes to play games, but that's it. Good. No offence, Anne, if you're listening, dog, love you a bit.
She'll no doubt be listening.
Just in case she watches this back, love you a bit. You're a marvellous lady, isn't she? She's wonderful, isn't she? Aye, sort of there. I saved that one. That's all right.
You look at your chips if you see
What's
it.
your meat? Bagging chips, the real potatoes. You need to come to Scotland for Anne's chips, if nothing else. You know what I mean? They're absolutely amazing. Have I talked her up enough? Right, moving on. Sarah, what did you think here? The more you get to know a spirit, or the more you go to a place.
No, I think that the more that you go to a place, the more that they do get to know you and get to trust you.
So here's a question. I mean, we've done Greyfriars countless times.
Mm-hmm.
We must be over the 100 mark when we Greyfriars. And and you get all these teams that go there and say, right, we get this, we get that, we get shadows and shadow men and all the rest of it. And we went and we've never had anything, And to me, now, I'll probably get shot down for this, but I'm just being totally honest. That's how I think that there isn't anything in Greyfriars. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. But then also, like, we went to Silver Mountain on the Saturday after that Friday, and the girl who was there, the one with
tour guide
thing, she said that when we were there and we had evidence in a certain part of that place, she said it's really weird because everybody gets activity everywhere else around the place in the mines and everything apart from that area. But we actually captured a voice there. And she said it's weird. She said because everywhere else you've captured stuff and other teams have captured stuff in the same type of evidence, and it backs everything up with other teams going in there and their own, because they have their own paranormal team that do that as well and their own nights. And she said it's weird how thingy. So yes and no. I
think some places you've got an instant connection to.
Yeah. I think it's just one of those, mate. It might just be that you might have captured something but not noticed.
Or it's not the area that you're investigating. We found that a lot as well.
Yeah.
Or they just don't like us because we're for the west side. Maybe they don't like us West Coast people.
Mate, you will not believe how frustrated I get on nights when we get no activity. When I know that a place can be so active and it doesn't happen,
it makes you want to cry.
I get really frustrated, and
It is very frustrating.
It is
when you're telling people stories and you're bigging it up, and it's
and
like,
then you go there and nothing happens. You're like, oh God.
Aye, I mean, last week leading up to I done some TikToks and done some posts on Facebook, you know, we can't wait, you know. I can't even mind what I said, but I was building up and building it up. So it was a wee bit disappointing, you know, for that side. I wasn't expecting chairs to be flying about or anything, you know. The Grim Reaper to walk in the front door or anything like that. But it is frustrating when you go and you think, well, oh, you just want something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
Right,
what
you
we
have-
always want more.
You know,
Just an easy game.
Think about it though, it's like when obviously we had Katie and obviously Reese was at work, she would do stuff and I would bang on to Reese, oh, she's done this, she's done this. See, as soon as Reese come home, would she do it? She made me to be a total liar.
I know that's just kids. But I think Spirit is a lot of Spirits are like kids as well. The one thing the main thing that Spirit wants is just to be acknowledged.
Yeah.
You know, for us to recognise that, for them to be recognised that they're still there.
Yeah.
Trixie's Gale is haunting the live.
So dark.
Thanks, Craig.
And I think they must get frustrated as well if we don't notice them.
Yeah,
That
I
makes
think there was I seen a video the other night, actually. It might have been on YouTube. I think I mentioned it while we were there. Some guy was investigating a property, a house or a manor house, I think it was, not sure. And he got an EVP of a spirit asking him, can they see him? Can they see them? So can he see them? Like, can you see us? Which I thought was incredible to catch on an EVP. That's like just acknowledging that a spirit can see him. Can he see you? As if it's almost the living.
It's like
Still,
the other-
yeah, like the others. You've seen the
opposites.
film, The Others. It's
That's what I
that
think it's
dimension, two different dimension.
Oh,
Where the spirits are hearing them walking and we're hearing them walking. It's like that. That theory is, I think, is absolutely brilliant.
Spot on, yeah.
that was a good. Who was the mother in that film? Now? I seen that
Nicole
one.
Kidman.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
I love that film. That was really.
I love that film.
That's got a really
The most
good
realistic films, yeah.
It's got a really good insight into how we view the paranormal. It's really clever.
And at the end, is when all the papers and all that stuff, everything starts happening. The
Yeah.
kids are just kind of playing up, basically. But no, it does give a good insight. It might sound stupid, it might sound like a chick flick, but I've always compared the paranormal to the film Ghost. Shoot me down, you can shoot me down, slag me, don't you say a word, in fact. Don't say a word. I've always kind of compared it to Patrick Swayze. How it must be for a spirit when they pass over and they finally realise that they are kind of, they are, I hate to use the word dead, but they have passed over and they're trying to be noticed.
How do you not know that's how we get angry spirits? Who knows? Do
Frustrated, yeah.
you know what I mean? They've had an instant in their life, a traumatic instance, or they've died, and they're angry that they've left and they've had stuff left behind that they wanted to say or whatever, and that causes them to be angry in that other side of the world, and that's why we get that noisy spirit, if you like.
Oh, that's I suppose that's how the paranormal anything's possible.
Yeah.
Don't know, but I do agree when you're out investigating and you're getting nothing at all, it does get frustrating, and sometimes you feel like you're letting your team down. If that makes sense, you're sitting there and your team's there, they've all come out and you're sitting maybe say at an old castle, for example, and you get nothing, you're there maybe 2 hours or something, and you get absolutely nothing, you pack up, you go home and kind of let everybody down because I picked that location or whatever. Does that make sense?
it does make sense, but
Could be as well, though, if you think about it, to certain locations. If you've got 2 or 3 teams or 4 teams going in the same week, asking, can you touch a black box? Can you do this? Maybe they just get fed up.
Yeah.
Constantly.
I do believe
this every day.
It's the same in real life. If somebody kept coming up to you, it's with a kid, You know, the old kid in the car, are we there yet?
Yeah.
Oh, don't get me started with that.
You know, are we there yet? Are we there yet? And it drives you insane. Thankfully, our wee one doesn't. She asks that noon again, but you know, so I would imagine it's something along those lines. That say, you know what, I'm not. If I get asked one more time if I'm here, if I'm a male, I am going to lose it big time. You know.
Walk in and the ghost has just stood there rolling their eyes. Here we go again.
Well, it's true, isn't it? It
You
could
don't
be
know.
possible. You never know.
They're taking shifts, you know. Say, well, I done 10 to 10, so you're on the next. You know, it's your turn. I'm on my lunch or whatever, I'm on my break.
You go on. Your turn.
I'm on the back shift this week. You get early shifts, so go and day. You know, go and day some. But I'd like to get back to the Ivy House during the day and try again. I know a lot of people prefer investigating at night, you know, because of the atmosphere, and it's a lot quieter.
First time you went was the day.
Yeah, the first time we went was the day.
The daytime when we got the evening.
I've watched people investigate it in the day and get evidence.
Yeah.
So,
I don't get this whole theory that paranormal only happens at night.
I think all it is it heightens your senses at night.
Yeah.
So obviously when it's dark. And
It's just
you
the
listen
atmosphere
more.
that's different. That's all, because it's darker, and I think all that is televisionized. It's what you've seen on TV. It's a dark room. It's a dark house. There's stuff happening. If the spirit's there day or night, so it doesn't make a difference.
My mum's house is haunted, and you hear things in the day as well as at night.
Yeah.
Me and Sarah did a daytime investigation at a certain location, and we got the most amazing evidence during the day compared to what we got at night. Remember that, Sarah?
Aye, that was in the morning.
I
That's
bet
right,
she's
first
sitting
thing.
there smoking and drinking coffee and everything
Aye.
in that camera.
That's right, Sarah. It was quite early in the morning. It was like 9 o'clock or something. We just went straight up after school.
Is that
No,
the
but
one
it was 11 o'clock.
Is that the one you tell me to bugger off?
Aye. Because we were funny talking when we were there.
Aye, was Scott.
Aye.
I'd been doing I'd went for a wander in the house and I found another staircase, an old staircase that we had never noticed before. And I came back, and you know, that way you're like a monkey with a balloon. You know, you found something new and you're all excited. And I came back and I tell them, you know, I found this, and I tell them to shut up and go away. Which was a bit of an insult, but you know, I let that one slide. It's not the kind of thing you want to hear, but no, we would like to get back because, as you say, spirits don't do night shift. You know, it's not a 10 to 6 job or whatever. They're there constantly. But again, I do agree. It's television and it's all Hollywood.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Have created this image. You know, you can only go into a graveyard at night. You know, or going at midnight, or going at 3 a.m. What's your theories on the 3 a.m. thing?
Or the witching hour.
Aye.
Oh, for God's sake. I'm so sorry. I actually lived where my mum still lives now. It used to be 2 houses and I lived in one side, and I used to wake up at 3 a.m. all the time.
See, Roxanne wakes up 3 o'clock in the morning. You used to, didn't you? A lot, and that was just on the toilet.
Who's telling me is what you saying?
Yeah, constantly toilet. 3 o'clock in the morning, guaranteed toilet. I don't know what to think of it really, because we've been
to locations at 3 o'clock.
Locations where we've been there overnight, and the witching hours never really happened. I think it's one of those things that it happens or it doesn't.
What do you think, Gail?
I've never had it happen at 3 a.m. in the morning for me. But then again, because it doesn't happen for me, doesn't mean it's not going to happen for somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, Have we done Greyfriars at 3 AM, didn't we? She's fell asleep. No, she's away. No, she's there.
Yeah, we done Greyfriars at 3, but it wasn't. We didn't get anything that really. The only thing happened was the batteries died.
Aye, I'd watched the guy on YouTube. I can't remember. Greyfriars at 3 AM, and his meters were going nuts and stuff. You know, in Greyfriars, there's part of the Flodden wall runs right through the middle of it. And about halfway down there's an archway where you can get to the next bit of the cut card. So this guy was investigating at this archway, and his K2 was going nuts on demand and stuff. So, you know, it wasn't that it sounds like we're copying. We weren't copying. I thought, well, yeah, I'm going to try that because, you know, obviously we've done a lot in Greyfriars. I thought, you know, we'll give that a go. So we went, and our batteries lasted like 15 minutes each. And that was it. We lasted about half an hour and made no batteries. And that was about the most exciting thing that happened. You know, at 3 AM. Because you expect Greyfriars, 3 AM, it's going to be good. And then it's flat batteries. So we had to pack up and come back down the road. And we're not
The only
just around the corner for Greyfriars.
The only thing that happens to me is I seem to wake up like a minute before my alarm's due to go off. That annoys me.
I do that every morning.
Do you
I
feel
just that
robbed?
extra minute's sleep.
But that's true, but if you set it for 7, you wake up at 6:59, you're raging because you feel robbed of that 60 seconds, you know, and you never set your alarm for on an odd number. It's always an even number. You know, so it's never 7:05 or you don't set an alarm, do you?
No.
You just kind of
Well, unless you see my alarms.
But you do feel kind of robbed of that minute. But that's got nothing to do with what we're talking about.
No.
I know, just also about the witching hour.
Well,
Just saying that's something that annoys me.
Aye, well, that's true. I think the witching hour is more Hollywood sort of thing. Again, Hollywood's got a lot to answer for. But it'd be interested to see your footage of that camera, especially if it picks up that noise.
I am looking forward to seeing now. Unfortunately, I do have to edit another video and get it off my laptop first before I go through any of the Ivy House. I'm a bit behind.
Well, get a move on then. Stop doing
I know.
that and get editing then, women. For God's sake, darling.
Aye, because was your camera not in one corner and Roisin's in the other?
Yeah.
Rosine's was at the door, just inside the doorway, I think.
Yeah, because I noticed as well that K2 meter on the mantelpiece kept going off.
That's right, so it did. Aye, that went off a few times, and our phones were in flight mode. That did go off a few times.
Well, no one was in the room. I just walked past and I saw it flashing, and I thought, right, I'm getting my camera in there.
It's just all we. It was a really good night. To sum up, I say it was a really good night. Obviously, to meet you guys in person, and get my caterpillar cake.
I was just going to say the cake.
Aye, I wouldn't have missed that out for not, caterpillar cake. And just to be there in the house. And I would say to anybody who's thinking of it, go and do it. Even if you get nothing, it's still a fantastic experience of being in that location. And we're definitely wanting to get back.
I'd say go and do it while you can, while it's still standing.
Yeah, it won't be
I
standing
reckon
there for long.
give that another couple of years and it'll be
Not even a couple of years.
It's going downhill fast.
It's deteriorated very, very quickly.
sad because it's so beautiful inside and
Yeah.
such a beautiful job of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
As for that other house you were in the other night, Roisin, that was it was a beautiful house at one point.
Yeah. I've actually seen pictures of that house when it had all the carpets and the furniture and everything in. And that was, very nice.
That's the thing. You're standing in these places and you're looking about and you're thinking what they walls and doors have seen in their time. You know, all the people that have came, lived in that house, passed through the doors, etc. I mean, that location we done last year, that's deteriorated. We get a couple of friends coming up in the next couple of weeks and they will want to do that location. We says no. Because we were there September time, something like that, October time. Hi, Lindsay.
Just no safe now.
And over the winter and what have you, we've had a lot of crap weather, and Sarah said there's parts of the buildings collapsed. A lot of the floors have collapsed in as well. So
Is that the bit that we used to walk in?
aye, that's all. There was one bit of the house that the flooring was still intact, but that's all collapsed in now as well. So I was talking to this person the other day and they said, I want to do that place use it, and we says no. It's falling apart. I wouldn't take them there because it's just no safe anymore. And it's a shame because it was a beautiful building. It's massive and it was a beautiful building when it was up and running. And it's just been left basically. There's a guy bought it, but he's done nothing with it. He's just let it sit and rot. And obviously our weather isn't too kind to buildings and stuff, and it's just totally fell apart, which is a shame. Right? But so, in one word, what did you think of the Ivy House? We'll wind up there, but one word, Laura, what did you think of the Ivy House?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Come on, pick a word.
It was a great experience. And I would go back.
You would go back.
I would definitely go back.
Roisin?
Well, I've been quite a few times already, so it is somewhere that I like to investigate, yeah.
See, you're lucky. You're kind of next door to it, you and Charlie. Well,
Yeah.
sort of next door, but not, if you know what I mean.
It's kind
It's
of in
not
the
far from me.
It's how far, sorry?
It's not far from me.
It's about a 35-minute drive for me.
So it's more or less on your doorstep then. Atmosphere, that's a good word
That's
to
a good
describe
word,
it. What about you, Gail? How would you describe it?
I'd like to go back. I did enjoy it. But either you drive or David is going to need to drive. I'm not driving it.
Mother, it's fine. You can drive to South and somebody else will drive the rest or get a bus.
I get tired driving the same straight road.
That's what happens when you're on a motorway.
I know that, but then that's why I end up having to stop a million times or I go through like 5 cans of Red Bull, which isn't good for you.
And then you need to stop again to use the facilities.
Yes.
Women are murdered that way. No, I'm not sexist in any way, but do you know the amount of times women need to stop on a motorway? You know, it's every services, you know. Or stop, I need to, you know,
Wasn't that bad?
whistle.
Well, not really, because when I drive to Birmingham, we only stop twice.
Huh?
But that's no bad.
But that's before cans of Red Bull.
If you can drive to Birmingham, you can drive to the Ivy House.
I could, but
Chooses not to.
Personal
I
choice.
not to.
It was a good. I enjoyed the drive. Apart from the weather was abysmal.
It was awful.
Oh,
Rain
think
all
it
the
rained.
way.
I think it rained all the way from Kilmarnock to Warrington. Just caught, and then there was about 20 mile worth of roadworks. There was no bugger there. There was nobody what mind all the roadworks. This is what gets me. You know, you get 20 mile worth of cones and you get one guy with a shovel.
That's how it is. It's terrible. It drives me mad.
And he's always
Every
got a
time-
wee
The cone bit keeps getting longer as well.
bit- And then you get wee Joe with a white van with his arms lighting up with a shovel. You know, you think, what are you doing with the other 19 plus miles of cones? You know, and he's totally oblivious. That was just a wee rant there. Because I used to drive the trucks and that used to drive me insane. You get miles and miles of cones, and there was no bugger there, or there was one guy there doing nothing, still having a fag on his mobile phone, holding a shovel. You know, and they called that motorway maintenance. I mean, sorry, that rant there. Sorry, folks, didn't mean to rant. It does get annoying. What's Lindsay saying?
I don't know.
Where he is going to be?
See,
Lindsay, that is the $10. No, it's not $1 million.
$10 million.
What is it? What's he
$1
saying?
million
$1
question.
million question. Hawkins says, "Watch this space."
That's a good one.
It is. Is it?
Right?
You know where it is because
Aye.
I've forgotten. So I'm just trying to sound mysterious. That's what I'm trying to do. Just put a wee air of mystery to the place. It's nearby. Lindsay, that's what I'm going to say. But don't ask Laura because she'll grass it up.
Mail me later, Lindsay.
Don't bother mailing her later. She mails you and you grass it up, you're sacked. You're the door. B, how would you describe the Ivy House?
Amazing.
That's the word I would use for it. I would use that as well. Rosine?
I think I could pick one word, to be honest. I think as well, I've had different experiences each time I've gone there. Like the first time I went, it was very oppressive. But there's been times we went and it's just been calm.
What about you, Charlie?
Intriguing.
Oh, there's a fancy word there, intriguing.
I think there's multiple doors to open there.
Laura will tell me.
I'm not allowed.
Tell her. Do you think there's a lot more to uncover there?
Yeah.
If time allow, well, if conditions allow, that is.
Yeah.
I would think it would take quite a few more visits. The only downside for us is obviously the distance it is away. For us, but I would think there's a lot. I think I said this on the night as well. I got the feeling that there was a spirit there, kind of dominant spirit, holding everybody back. Talking, especially up the stairs. Like I thought they were wanting to talk, but there was somebody there that was telling them to basically, shut up.
Probably the spirit that pretends to be a demon.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else felt that or not.
I don't know. I think it could be the fact that there was a lot of people as well, and that might have
a
bit insecure, a bit, scared. We were new. They didn't recognise us. They don't want to talk to us.
We're Scottish.
Well, aye.
Maybe they're
If
watching.
you walk in a group of people, though, you're going to be shy till you get to know them.
Yeah.
Charlie and Ross usually need to keep going back and forward. And Kate Trust is usually just along the road there.
Yeah, I think it's a possibility of going back there and trying again. Obviously, it'd have to be soon and when people's available. At the moment, we're taking a break. There's a lot of shit we got going on behind closed doors. There's a lot of stuff's happened this last year, so we're gonna we're not leaving the paranormal, but we're just stepping back for now on investigation wise, just to kind of get our heads around some stuff that's going on in our personal lives. Like we received some bad news the other day from another family member. There's Roxanne's mum. She's not well. Then we lost my dad in October. So at the moment, it's just a few things that we just need to step back and kind of just have a break from everything and just kind of recharge and rebuild our energy and then go from there. But I can say honestly, since, obviously that's why we stepped down from the Haunted Hunts, there's been a lot of people, and I have to say thank you to them that have supported us over the years, and there's been non-stop messaging, hope you guys are all right, it's not going to be the same, and we miss you and stuff like that, and it's so humble because that's what we've done it for the people. I always believe saying paranormal is for the sharing. Not one person's evidence is better than anybody else's. Everybody's individual, they get their own, but I think you should share that with people. And for me, it's always nice to see new people in the paranormal and witness what you've witnessed. It gives you that sense of feeling that, yeah, I'm glad you've witnessed that.
Yeah.
But that's the thing with you chatting with Rocks as well. You've built up that, I hate that kind of fan base. Do you know what I mean? Well, it's the only word I can think of. That you do have a lot of people. No disrespect to Dan and Emma and Becky. I think the whole team are an amazing team. But you and Rocks took that big step and stepping away from them. No, stepping away from the paranormal side there. Where most folk might have thought, it's a big show, we're doing well. Like you and Rocks obviously he's got a lot going on in the background, but you decided to step away, and that's what you realise that you do have a lot of followers.
It's honest to God, it's been so surreal. You have yourself when you put post on, from Ornaments and stuff like that, people, comments and, what have you, and say, we love you guys are a great team and all that. But the amount of support that's been since we've left, you actually then realise how many people do care and how many people are actually in the paranormal as well. You don't realise how many people are actually into the paranormal. And we won't be gone forever or anything like that. Obviously, we've left the Haunted Hunt, so we won't be going back to Haunted Hunts. And I wish them the absolute best, honest to God. I couldn't have asked to work with better people, Dan, Emma and Bex, Nick and Alice behind the scenes. They are all a great bunch of people, and it was really sad. It was a hard decision to leave, but we will miss them. Oh, and I'm sure to God we'll see him again, at some stage. Dan is now doing my haunted hotel for Harry, the King's Head in Chester. Harry's done a fantastic job there, that pub. It's haunted anyway, but he's turned it into a haunted hotel, and what he's done there is absolutely fantastic. It's beautiful the way he's converted it. Looks all vintage, and he's adding certain elements to the rooms, and and I think it's a great opportunity for Dan working on that as well. So yeah, I wish all the best to him, and hopefully there's more great stuff to come from him.
Mm-hmm. And we'll be watching for you and Rocks anyway. Obviously he's taking a break away just now. And
I honestly can't say. I've looked at more now. I think I've always said to Dan and that about jumping on YouTube and trying to do different things and find different locations and and see more of that exploring side of the paranormal. Not just stuff that we're used to. Seeing the same places and stuff like that, getting out there and seeing a wider range. And to begin again, the people that have messaged us, different paranormal teams asking if we can go, to different places. Obviously, we're taking a break at the moment, but we might be going down to York in May. So that's something that we're looking at. I've got a mate of mine, Gary. He messaged me the other day with this fantastic idea for a project, which I think would be absolutely incredible if it works and it pays off. And that would be seeing me and Roxanne going down to Glastonbury to do this project. But who knows, mate, what the future holds. Just taking a step back, spending more time with the family, like my lad's leaving school this time and, focusing on college with him and stuff like that, so, and spending a bit more time together as a family, because every weekend we're near enough doing ghost hunts, we don't really get that chance to spend time with me and Roxanne or me and Roxanne and the kids. Do you know what I mean? It's always we got a paranormal night out, we're always on an investigation. So, you know, and that's no disrespect to the team or anything. We you know, we could happily have the nights off and thingy, but like again, it comes back to the people. We used to love going to meet new people and seeing new people come and investigate with us. So that's the main part of it. But yeah, for now, mates, it's just a break and we'll go from there.
Just enjoy a break, and you know you're not getting any timetable. There's no pressure. You just you choose where you go and when you want to go, whenever it suits you.
Well, that's it. At the moment, I'm putting my hand into dabbling into making equipment. Like I made my own portal, making films. I come up with a new idea for a kid's toy, which I've actually kind of worked out how to get it to move motion censored. So it'll be one of those ones that if a kid actually goes in front of it, it will actually move. So it'll be kind of not just a light up object or like a REM, and that it will actually move like a sensor, so it'll be motorized on a sensor. So there's different stuff that I'm looking into, and I want to build my experience on that. So that's something that's going ahead as well.
I want to speak to you about a couple of bits and a couple of bits of gear. As they say, gear. That sounds bad, doesn't it? I don't mean that. Up here, gear means that, the smoky. I don't mean that kind of gear. Not illicit drugs. I mean equipment. Roisin, what's up? What's next on the plate for you, though?
I'm taking this weekend off, but next week I'm going and filming a house, which I've been told is quite terrifying. Like, a friend of mine did it and she cried. So, yeah, which is someone I've never seen cry before. So I'm looking forward to that. That is my next thing.
Are you Steven's for Australia, bless him. It's not his fault. Sure you don't. I don't mean that kind of gear, Stephen. I mean I mean equipment. No. Are you going to survive a weekend, Roisin, without the paranormal? But
I think I need to just sit in and edit, to be honest, and get all my videos sorted and done. I've got a lot of footage to go through.
You need to have a look at that camera. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, I do.
And see if there's anything on it. What's up next? Will you find Charlie and Rocks on their Facebook page? You got a YouTube channel? You got Charlie?
Pardon?
Have you got a YouTube channel yet?
It will be set up. I've set up the name, and that is Charlie Rocks Paranormal. But we haven't put anything on there yet. We're looking at trying to find a weekend when we want to go out, and I've got a location in mind that's not too far from Wrexham. There's stories about it, which is a murder house, but a murder manor, but that's not documented. So we'll see where that is. But it's a massive, massive manor house. I'd say it's about 25 mile away from us, so it's not too far.
A 10-minute drive, basically. Then.
Yeah, we're looking at that.
That's quite handy. So you'll find Charlie and Rocks on Facebook. You'll find Roisin on YouTube and Facebook. Shows you how much I actually know with that. I'll put myself to shame. You actually be embarrassed. But give them a look up, guys. Same as Parapost as well. It's the other network we're going on just now. If you've not looked at Parapost yet, give him a wee look. He's run by Brian Lafferty. And it's a new network, and he's doing amazing things. We're hopefully out tomorrow night, fingers crossed, weather permitting. Feeling that it's meant to be sunny this weekend in Scotland, guys. Meant to be sunny, 14 degrees. So the shorts and the vest tops will be out. And Greg's will be getting a visit for the sausage rolls as well. 14 degrees of a heat wave in Scotland, isn't it, though?
Yes.
Aye.
Remember, I'm not out tomorrow.
Yeah, Gail's not out tomorrow. She's busy. But
Just in case you're wondering where Roxanne's gone, she's putting the girls to bed.
I saw her. I thought she was away. The ladies.
Yeah, she said, I'm going to put the girls to bed.
I thought she was powdering her nose. But failing us getting out tomorrow night, we're off to Edinburgh on Saturday. and we're doing a walk round the Greyfriars with Jamie Christoffen, the guy that looks after Greyfriars, the City of the Dead tours. What's Stephen saying just before we go? Sunny in Scotland, irrefutable evidence of climate change. No, 14 degrees, Stephen. I am not messing about here, sunshine. I am serious. The shots are coming out that cupboard. So, you know, the ladies had better watch out. I mean, that'll get the pensioners a fright, won't it?
Right enough.
It'll be us locals. I'll be us locals tomorrow.
It is.
So that's it for tonight, folks. Thanks for coming out. It's just a wee round up of the Ivy House. We will be putting more footage up of it, and Roisin will be hopefully working her way through her footage and putting it up. And I'll be interested to see how it compares. So thanks to Charlie and Rox, as always. We've seen them again. When's your quiz, by the way?
We got it the 27th, Scott. 27th of March. It is round 3 of the epic Big Fat Paranormal Quiz, and I hope that you have your history on Vikings sorted.
Vikings, they use big ships.
It's not just Vikings though. There's paranormal stuff in there, haunted locations, so it will be a variety. But the hardest one, that's why I give you the clue on Vikings. Make sure you get checking. I sent you that link with over 130 questions, so it's going to be out of there. 10 questions out of there, so let's hope you get them right.
You expect me to remember 130 questions? You're lucky if I can remember 130 letters.
Well, if you want to win.
Well, Mr. Murphy, this quiz is between ourselves and Andy Murphy. I can never remember the name of his group because it's letters. And
it is United Kingdom Ghost Whisperers.
I'm sure he shuffles them about because I'm sure every time I look, it's different. So he does it just to piss, just to annoy me. So it's between us and Andy, Kirsty Murphy. And Andy, if you're watching, you better find out where Loser Town is because that's where you're going, sunshine. I mean, that sounds threatening. Like, the gloves are off. So that's what day, the
27th.
27th of this month. Don't miss it, folks. It's going to be epic. And you'll be seeing Roisin again very soon with us. We've got a wee idea. We're not going to tell you about it. We'll just keep guessing. I think that's the best thing, the paranormal.
It's exciting, though. It is exciting. It's a good idea. Everyone is going to love it.
Yeah. And it's different. I'll fill you in later. I'm not taking to talk to you because I have people mailing me, and then we had disaster yesterday, and us freezing cold today. It's just, you know, my emotions are a train wreck, basically.
You need to fill me in as well.
I told you about it.
You know what I mean? You could tell nothing.
I told you about it earlier on.
No, you didn't.
I'll tell you about it when we come off. All right, so thanks to Charlie, Rox, Roisin, Gail, who you've not seen much of, but she is there. Sarah and Laura.
She slowly faded back as well, so she was slowly dissipating into the background.
Just get darker and darker.
And we'll see. Oh, we're back live on Saturday night, 9 o'clock with Barry Frankish and Paranormal Exposure. That's when we're back on live. So take care, folks. And thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you all soon. Bye.
Bye.